Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. With 2 levels to choose from, Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week, and your chance to participate with Kevin and Sean in the monthly Nash and Friends watch-along show. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kev, you had one thing to do this week. Remember your sunglasses. You had one job.
And I took them off right before I walked up here.
Should have done the show from the car. Do that one week. You just cruise like Daytona. Tilt the camera so like it's you, but like out the window too. So
I don't.
You could see the masses.
See, this music's too loud for me to. I can't talk over it.
Here it is, but I listened to the mix on.
I know, but I'm not gonna. I feel like I have to yell. It's.
And that's even better because it's over.
Yeah, but I would rather just wait to start instead of. I feel like I'm screaming.
Well, I'll hum through it or something. Then.
Well, just wait.
Or I'll vamp.
It's the fucking Stones. Ish.
It's Dale. Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. He's Kevin, I'm Sean. If you're looking for other people, you may want to try the Supreme Court. They may be there. The robes, the 9 robes, might be one of those. So I have to start this with like a spoiler announcement alert. I feel like the Succession finale was one of the most anticipated. I saw it was everywhere. I mean, people were tweeting about it. There was 2 fucking articles, Saturday and Sunday in the Times. When's the last time something was this hotly anticipated to answer a question on a show?
Maybe Sopranos.
Sopranos, maybe. Yeah, another HBO show.
Breaking Bad.
You know what? I missed that in the first run, so maybe I just don't. Oh, maybe Game of Thrones. I didn't watch that either. It's a little too out there. So anyway, so you mute.
How is Game of Thrones too out there?
All right, because when there are other, I have a thing with, like, fantasy is fine, but when I have to learn the rules of like new universes and like other worldly type existences, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work up front. It's hard enough for me to become invested in characters in this world.
Fucking so you were that kid that didn't watch Star Trek growing up.
You know what? I did, and that was it. Like, I didn't get really hooked into Star Wars. A little, like I saw the first 3.
Star Wars is that's adolescent shit.
Yeah, well, yeah. I caught them.
See,
I wasn't.
My
obsessed.
wife read all the Game of Thrones, so I always got the cliff notes.
Yeah.
On the characters.
Bayonne's own.
I thought that second, the one they followed it with was good. House of Dragons.
Different than House of Cards. Spacey in that one too, or no?
No, Spacey was not in House of Dragons.
No. Any gay threesomes in House of Dragons, like in House of Cards, when the Secret Service agent starts going to town on Spacey, or vice versa? I guess. None. All right, I'm just chatting.
That's so fucking old news.
Right. I want to know if the recipe is the same. The title's very close. I want to know how much of the contents were the same. All right. So success. So where do you rate the Succession finale? Did it deliver for you? Giving you guys plenty of time to mute if you're worried about hearing something.
I accepted it.
That sounds like a very neutral comment.
I accepted it. It was like, all right.
But don't you think that I thought it was kind of perfect, and I got texts right away from people. This is bullshit, and I said, listen. When Caesar goes, the empire falls. No one can resurrect a fallen empire, and that's it. Everyone lost.
So when you watch The Sopranos, did you? No, not everybody lost.
Everyone lost.
Oh, okay. So at the end, the guy in the limo.
The guy in the limo's incompetence will have him foisted from the job. The terror on his face that he's actually been given a responsibility and he knows he cannot fucking do it. And the person beside him in the limo.
Now you're giving me a Sopranos you're giving me an analogy to the Sopranos finish. You're fucking booking something that you have no idea.
That's to come.
No, it's not. What
were you going to say about The Sopranos? You're going to ask me if Tony got shot or not.
Yeah, Tony got shot or not.
I'm going to say no.
I said no. My son said yes.
I thought the whole point, the song, Don't Stop Believing, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on. It's more of the same. What are they talking about at dinner? Life. Oh, what's the name got engaged? Oh, here comes the trial. Doesn't look good for me. Same shit. It goes on and on without end.
Right. So.
That was my interpretation.
I thought that the finish was the finish. I thought that where made it worked.
Rome fell.
Well, Roman was out of it anyway after he fucking shit the bed.
Oh, Roman, right?
he shit the bed at the funeral. So
you think there was? He was dead. He was
dead.
Totally out of the game. Yeah.
Which fucking hurt his brother's chances.
Right.
You know.
Do you think that the names had significance, like Shiv, like a Shiv, Kendall, all. Like, nothing really there.
Kendall was fucking so. If you watch the entire series, Kendall was manic. He was schizophrenic. He fucking suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I just didn't. I thought that the fucking scene with the blender out at the mother's crib was just like, I said, man, it's not going to play out this way.
Well, the amateurish playfulness and the so Steve has some research here. The characters have been intentionally chosen by the show's creator Jesse Armstrong to reflect the personality traits. Okay, Logan Roy means little hollow. Shiv is a term for a knife. Tom's last name, Wamsgans, is a rare surname of German origin. Its root means goose. Wamba. Yeah, so I guess they're being a little playful with the names. I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. I thought it was a sufficient ending. And,
yeah.
And a great show. I
really thought they could have got another year out of it.
They probably could have. Would they go 4? They went 4.
They went 4. I think they could have gave it to the brothers and then had that fucking implode. But bottom line is, like, when they're sitting there at the end and he's sitting on the park bench, overlooking the fucking river, I'm thinking they sold the fucking thing for, what, 140? How much did they sell it for?
Yeah, it was a high offer. The stock price got raised, actually, right? And that was on the plane. And
so, it's like everybody walked out of there, a billionaire. So it's like,
but they had money before. It was more than the money. It was. It
Well, that's
was
like that.
their
Remember
purpose.
that scene where the father and he says to him, "What are you going to do with the $5 billion? Add it to the stack of the rest of your billions?" And the father, and Cox said, "Yeah." He goes, "Why? I should give it to you? Make your own goddamn fucking pile."
So what do you think? Prequel? We going to learn how Logan Roy became Logan Roy? His young days starting ATN.
Well, I was looking here, and I don't know if Wesley put it. I think Wesley put that Succession does like bad ratings. But does anything do ratings on?
Nothing does. You'd have to combine
on HBO
streaming. They can track streaming. I think it did. I think it was averaging like 2 million, and then 6 million on a stream afterwards. So like a total of 8 million.
That's pretty.
That's what I'm feeling like. Let's see. The series finale was 2.93. Yeah, okay. So the third bullet point says season 4 of Succession is averaging 8.7 million views per episode since it premiered. So that counts the live view plus the replays, which is nothing compared to like. Steve, find me what was the big Dallas? Remember who shot JR?
That was 47 million households.
Ridiculous. Is that? Yeah, it's probably something like that, right? So we talk about like getting 8 million people to watch this.
83 million.
Are you fucking kidding me?
83
million. Oh live, because there was no streaming.
Yeah, with a Nielsen rating of 53.2.
Jesus. What do you think a 60-second spot cost on that gimmick?
$130.
What do you think Paul Mall paid to have their ad run?
Right.
Merit. Yeah. 89 million households had a television in 84. And the show did 84 million. What did the show do? 83.
So, yeah.
So 1 million TVs were watching Lawrence Welk at the time.
They just weren't on.
Right.
They were at other people's cribs watching it.
Unbelievable. Tremendous.
And that was a shitty payoff.
Oh, that it was, what's her name? I'm not spoiling anything for anyone who's rewatching Dallas on Amazon Prime.
For the first fucking time, right?
I'm going to start that right after I finish Love Boat.
My whole thing is this. If you're not current, like you get a week. And after that, fuck you.
Would you spoil something for someone?
I'm not spoiling. I'm just talking about.
I said, did you at one time?
But I mean, it was like I gave several weeks, and I said that I couldn't believe that they killed Mike on fucking Breaking Bad. And all these fucking people went batshit, and I'm like, by the way, should I not give you the Super Bowl score also, or like fuck you?
Yeah, that's in the paper the next day. So
yeah.
There's got to be an acceptable, there's got to be a rule. Like the asshole rule at the red light, 3 seconds before you hit the horn. Light changes. Got to give the person time.
I give them 5.
Well, you're a good person.
No, fucking everybody's going to have a gun fucking July 1st. I figure.
I might I'll give him the whole light. I'll sit through another red.
Exactly. I'm going to start keeping some fucking Astroglide so I can fucking rub one out while I sit behind a guy.
Okay, feedback from last week's episode. Okay, all people who are worried about spoilers, Steve, send the thing out that they can come back, unmute. Feedback, Food for Thought said, Punk is a diva. He doesn't get his way, all hell breaks loose. I say AEW should let him go. Hopefully Triple H won't decide to make amends and rehire him to WWE. He deserves to be knocked down to working bingo halls. Well, that ain't going to happen. And just the fact that there was talk about Punk coming or not coming drew all attention, all eyes back to AEW.
Number one, they fucking didn't run the Sears building. They ran the United Center. Okay? They ran they ran the biggest arena possible. So what they're going to give back, they're going to give back that revenue? Fuck no. He's medically cleared. He's going to be there. Tickets are, it's like, it's a no-brainer.
It's just sold out.
Anybody that wants to fucking have some, it just, if you think that CM Punk is not going to be on that show on the 17th, you are a fucking mark.
Okay. But I try to stifle the everything's a work in me, because I always fucking go there first.
It was like fucking. I'll tell you what. Was Dom? You were at the gimmick where he cut the promo saying I was a mark for him, right?
Bring Dom up on the screen.
Yeah.
Or does he still have his head under the pillow because he's worried about the spoilers?
I was there. I asked him the question.
Well, what did you ask him?
So I said, so I work for ad-free shows, and I also work for Kevin Nash Kliq This podcast. And I was like, oh, he's like, Kev, I'm a big fan of Kev. Or he's like, I'm a big fan of Kev. Kev's a big mark for me, and saying all this kind of stuff. And so then after he ripped on me a little bit, he also was like, so I asked him, I was like, so what do you think about what people can kind of learn from your kind of mentality of how you handle yourself, on television and everything like that, and how Kevin Nash kind of handled himself? And so then he kind of was like talking about like how like, everybody airs all their shit out on Twitter and grievances and all that kind of shit and everything like that. And so he kind of went more into detail like that, kind of kept it. He was in character the whole time, but he kept it.
No, he stays in character.
Yeah. Which I love. I think it was great.
Okay. So,
when's he coming on? When's he coming on? When did you book him for?
No, I'd like to book him.
I could definitely try to do that.
But I tell you what, one thing that, so I watched the go home to the pay-per-view, and they had, to go to that 4-way. And so a couple little things for him, so he can watch this, because nobody else will have had this detail. So he goes out and cuts a promo, and he starts to cut the promo by saying that basically they were there since day one. They didn't have the advantage of having national television someplace else. They were the originals. They built this place. Kind of babyface. And then he caught himself and said, I'll take my ball and go fucking home. I might not, and he said, because you fucking people don't respect me, they booed. He got his heat back. So down comes Darby. And Darby needs to fucking, like, his presence was it wasn't, like, he was given good verbiage, but he didn't deliver it. There was no emphasis. There wasn't like, the character fucking looks cool, but he's no matter how you look at it, he's just not, he's diminutive. He's not a big guy, but he definitely is fearless. So he has that going for him. And it's not like any of the guys in that match are going to be considered big guys. So he kicks him in the fucking balls. Kicks Darby in the balls, and then so then he's cocking now to hit him with that ring. Mm-hmm. What is the match about? It's a 4-way for the championship belt. You take the belt off. You snap the fucking belt together. You don't send anybody else. You don't send Sammy until he fucking clocks him with the belt. So he clocks him with the fucking belt. Now here comes Sammy. He rolls out with the belt. As he fucking walks out, he turns around. Here comes Jungle Boy. He swings the Jungle Boy with the belt. Jungle Boy ducks underneath it. He turns around. Jungle Boy kicks him in the stomach, catches the belt. Boom. Hits him leaves the champ laying, undoes it, lays the belt on him. You get the fucking camera guy to get the beauty shot of the champion laying there with the belt on him. And we're going, the whole time, the emphasis is on the belt, the belt, the belt, the belt. At one point, Jungle Boy went over and picked up a fucking face-down world championship title. It was face down. It was a brown piece of leather. It was like not taken care of. You know, and it's a tiny. But if there's no significance to that belt, if it's just a fucking prop, then it makes it that much harder to fucking make that big. He already said he would take it. You know, they just didn't put enough emphasis on what it was, and that was the fact that it's the world title.
Right.
To whereas the exact opposite was done with the new belt and Rollins and AJ.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was all about that belt, that belt, that belt, that belt, the belt, the belt. Who is fucking worthy of this belt?
All right, Dom, you have your assignment. Get MJF on. Okay.
I can make it happen. The match was good, like that they had.
Yeah.
Good story and everything like that. And
Yeah.
you know, they tied a whole lot of stuff in there and made everybody get the highlight, and then MJF got the upper hand and you know, it did his chicanery, so it was good.
No.
Okay.
Good.
Dom was wearing a tank top, and you know, he's an Italian from Western Pennsylvania. His shoulders were strangely not hairy. I expected a much furrier, like shoulder back action going on Dom.
Well, Scott wasn't Italian.
What's that?
Scott wasn't Italian.
What do you have, furry shoulders?
Fuck, I used to have to fucking
Lawnmower that motherfucker at night?
No, I'd always be at the building. He'd be like, "Hey, Bundy." If you just had the fucking trimmer, and I'd walk over there, bang.
Oh, because Bundy was doing his head?
No, Bundy. He just called me Bundy.
Oh, he called you Bundy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Everybody was Bundy.
Excellent. Earth Dog Big Brother fan says, get some Kevin Sullivan, Russo, Waltman as guests on the show. Well, listen, we had our first Nash and Friends with
Kevin,
Sean Waltman.
we'll definitely have Kevin. Well, we'll have all those guys.
Well, all those guys.
Is Russo still doing his podcast?
He still is. He still has that the brand network. I can hit him up. We still talk every once in a while.
I've always got along with. I've got along with all those guys.
Absolutely. We're going to play a little bit of the Waltman today to show you guys what you get. If you join the 11 Soft Club, go to KliqThisTV.com to be part of it. KliqThisTV.com.
Sean and I, at this point of this taping, will have just spent the weekend together in Des Moines.
Not me and Kevin. He's talking about Waltman.
Yeah.
By the time you guys see this on Monday, Kevin will have me. You're returning Monday?
Yeah, I fly back on Monday.
He'll be on his way back after having hung with his boy. Earth Dog, we'll get to them all.
I got one more real quick question, guys, and I'll jump off here.
Go ahead.
Cornette, Jim Cornette. I know you guys bust on him a lot in the podcast. You know, being from Louisville, I've had breakfast with him, I've had meals with him, I've met him in person. I mean, how is he overall received in the industry? I know his views are way out there and stuff, and it's easy to hop on the corny bash bandwagoner. But I mean, is he pretty well received in the industry overall, or is it kind of split in the middle?
We always do it with love on the show, if that's what you're talking about. I think.
No, it's great. Trust me.
We like
corn every time.
I don't think that. I mean, I can speak for myself. There's absolutely no heat with Jim Cornette. You know, like I've said it, several times. I'm sure on the show that, you know, at TNA, he and I were, you know, the guy having the same argument in the room of that doesn't make sense. And me and Cornette would be like, that doesn't make sense. Why would we do that? Because we're going to fucking stack the fucking finish. It's going to be a bunch of high spots. That doesn't make any sense. But
Sean, you a corny fan as well?
I always was. You know, like, I mean, I was a fucking supermarket when I was a kid, you know? So I liked the fucking Midnight Express, and, you know, Cornette was great on the stick, and, you know, so, yeah. He's a real smart guy. I don't, like, if I have, like, fucking, I mentioned this on my show one time. I just, like, even if I do have, like, a disagreement with something Cornette says, I don't fucking air it out in public, you know, because I'm not like a guy that likes to go back and forth with people, and like dude, he could fucking slice you and dice you, you know, and I just don't want to get like, I'm good. Kev can still go to battle if you want. I'm not gonna.
No, he's Cornette just the fucking the willpower to put out fucking 23 hours a fucking week of fucking programming.
And it's one episode.
It's like the Chinese. It's
I
like
paused
the
this episode
Chinese army,
man.
Delbert Prince. I would like to see a podcast with Hulk Hogan as a special guest talking about the NWO. I think we should do a whole NWO episode. So get everybody on that we can.
I think the NWO is that those stories that
played out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might drive some merch sales. You never know. We'll send our people out to get the new shirt. There's always one. The new Funko. How often do they redo those? When do you get a new Funko? Like every 6 damn months?
Somebody told me I'm getting a Big Daddy Cool Funko.
A Big Daddy Cool Funko? Mm-hmm. Okay. How many versions do you have?
Well, if you count the Super Shredders, because I'm the only human that played Super Shredder. I think there's 4 Super Shredders, and then a Kevin Nash, and a Diesel.
Okay.
So 6.
There they are. Looking at them there. Okay. Very good.
That one, that's the best one, is that little tiny one there with me with my legs in effect, because I had so many matches in a singlet. 0.
Yeah, I'm looking at that was the short hair. When would this have been?
Well, I wore that singlet to the Royal Rumble in maybe 2013.
Oh, okay. With that, okay.
So I guess they just didn't want to put pants on me.
And your hair was cut that tight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my hair. Once I cut my hair.
When you went to TNA, I know.
No, I had long gray hair then.
But when did you do the short gray? First.
Well, I did the short gray because I did the Punisher. That I followed that with Longest Yard.
Right.
And they got lazy on Longest Yard and just spray painted my hair blonde every day instead of coloring it. And then when the movie was over, I came home and I was gray.
Right. King Gurashemi, need to start a NWO podcast group by getting some other podcasts together under one banner. You can start with Ted's. Meaning Ted Turner. NWO Podcast Network, like Podcast Heat. Kev thinks it's played out, buddy. Another time.
No, it's just number one, we don't own the NWO.
Correct.
If you don't,
You couldn't show the copyright. You could talk about it. You just couldn't. You have to change the spray paint a little bit there. The mark.
There's some guy called me, wanted to get my input on a book. And I'm like, Jesus, I think I've sat down in the last 5 years and spoke, 35 to 50 hours on NWO shit. And it's like, I was like, Scott, it's like, and Sean, Kiddo was the same way. It's like, how many fucking times are you going to, I did that Hidden Treasure show. And after it was over with, they sat me down, and the guy said, "Okay, we just a couple of questions." And he went right to the NWO. I said, "Fuck this." That was the first time. That's the first thing I'd done since Tristan passed. And I did it because, man, I knew Mick would. I knew that Mick would make me laugh. Like Mick was I was going to spend the day with Mick, and I looked forward to it because we've always had. I've never had a bad time traveling with Mick or hanging out with Mick. Or just we've always, and he's very topical, and we always have good conversations, and so I knew that would be a very good test of going back into the water.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what? I guess it's kind of like, if you're Namath, like, are you going to talk about the '69 Jets,
yeah,
again? That
or
season? How much is there to say about that season?
Yeah, it's such okay. I don't want to talk about that. Okay, how about that time on Monday Night Football when you were drunk? Really? That's it? The whole. They had a thing the other day on Instagram, and it just was the Jets logo, and the guy said, "Name the first player that comes to mind." And I was thinking to myself, like, Joe Namath.
Yeah, of course.
And I looked, the first answer is Mark Sanchez. And I went, fuck, I'm old.
No way. Anyone who knows and you don't have to be old. Anyone who knows their history. I was going to say Pat Ryan, but.
Hey, fuck, you know where he went to college?
Tennessee?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. He was, and he played sporadically at Tennessee. But I bet you Pat Ryan did 11 or 12 seasons in the NFL holding a clipboard.
Yeah.
He looked like a fucking pro quarterback.
Yeah.
Had a chiseled fucking.
Just didn't play like one, which is the problem. When he was drafted.
He was a good drop back. They had some shitty.
They didn't have a team around him.
No, they didn't have no offensive line.
The notorious TNS. I think it'd be awesome if Nash showed up, teamed with Sting and the Wolfpack colors at AEW, and go at Kenny Omega and somebody for Wolfpack versus Bullet Club, but it turns into a comedy. The notorious TNS.
Yeah, it would be a fucking comedy, fucking trying to get me to fucking leave my feet. Like watching fucking Benny Hill special.
Play the Benny Hill music when they come to the ring. Good Day says, I'm sure 15 years of... Great. Good Day says, I'm sure 15 years of predictability and scripting have nothing at all to do with the decreased demand for live wrestling shows. Nothing at all.
Yeah, because those 15 years were the only 15 years that have been scripted. So, yeah, you're absolutely fucking spot on.
Well, the predictability, he's got a point there. When was the last time you were surprised by something in wrestling? I was in the 90s. People talk about Russo, but everyone tuned in to see what you were going to get shocked by next.
Get so fucking tired of somebody that was a fan in the Attitude Era and says, man, it's just not the same. And it's just like, yeah, because you're fucking 58 years old now, motherfucker. It's like, guess what? I guarantee you, if you were to pick up a baseball card and smell it, and it was the card that had the fucking bubblegum stick on it, it wouldn't have the same fucking...
But you don't think you're saying that our nostalgia fades, but you don't think that...
No, I think our nostalgia fucking goes the opposite way. I think nostalgia-wise,
keeps it, and right. Our expectations fade because of our nostalgia. But you don't think the product was superior from a creative standpoint? I'm talking about those years that you had quarter fucking ratings that were reported the next morning, and you were chasing.
When the only place you could get inside information was a fucking $1.99 800 number. You got to look at the universe.
No one can be swerved today? We'd know about it, you're saying?
It's pretty. I mean, we can get probably within fucking $2,000 of what they have for a house right now at the United Center with the first collision. We could find that information.
You're right. We could. No, nothing's a secret anymore.
Yeah, there's no. So like that alone tells you that if you can get worked, it's because if you want to get worked.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing. Like when I watch a match, there's a lot of times I'll be like, fuck yeah, like good job, like good pacing on the false finishes. But when you use your finish for a false finish and it's, a rock bottom followed by a Cena fucking gimmick followed by a rock bottom followed by, if you do that and you do that 19 times in a row, what made that fucking 23rd time you fucking took the guy's finish the one that,
I get it.
You get knocked the fuck out, you get knocked out.
Yeah, I get it.
So once you put MMA and put that against it, and you're so used to seeing, even on Instagram or on, I'm not a TikTok guy, but you see a guy kick somebody in the shin and their fucking leg does a V, like it's kind of fucking hard to watch a guy kick a guy in a pro wrestling match in the side of the head and the guy fucking doesn't even take a bump. You know?
Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to go, all right.
Got it.
So.
Yep. All right.
Get rid of your credit card debt, get a lower monthly payment, and skip your next 2 house payments at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket to save thousands with SaveWithConrad.com. Find out how much money you can save right now at SaveWithConrad.com.
I want everyone to take a little test. I'm going to read you a question, and I want everyone to vote A, B, C, or D. Our live audience can do this too. If you'd like to be part of our live audience every week for the tapings, please go to KliqThisTV.com and become an 11 Soft member. And you're here with us. You're here with us live. All right, so here's I'm going to read you the question. This is in regards to, don't show the answer, Steve. This is in regards to Thomas Edison creating the light bulb and how it changed people's lives. This is a 4th grade level test, all right? Before people strained to read by candlelight, this is the passage. Before people strained to read by candlelight, now they could read comfortably with adequate light. As used in this sentence, what does adequate mostly mean? I'm going to read you 4 choices. A, dark. B, good. C, bad. D, bright. Okay? Before people strained to read by candlelight, now they could read comfortably with adequate light. As used in the sentence, what does adequate mean? A, dark. B, good. C, bad. D, bright. Everyone vote.
I'm saying good.
Everyone's voting for good. Steve, you can't vote. You saw the answer. What about the audience? Everyone's with B. No one's voting for bright. As used in this sentence, what does adequate mean?
If somebody was to give an adequate performance, I wouldn't say great. Yeah, it was good.
Just good.
How was the finish of Succession?
You thought it was adequate.
It was adequate.
I thought it was bright.
See, I thought it was adequate.
You guys are absolutely correct. I thought that this was a very confusing question. My daughter answered bright, and I got hot. I was like, this is ridiculous. In this sentence, by candlelight, the opposite of dark, where they couldn't read before, now they had bright light. But I've been 100% proven wrong by the audience. I'm deleting the letter to her teacher. I'm deleting the email to this company that made the assignment. Based simply, now all right. Steve's got the definition of adequate up here. It was by candlelight, so it was bright. There was adequate light. That's where I went. I have to go back to 4th grade.
Barely satisfactory.
Fourth fucking grade. They need to know barely satisfactory. This is wrong with education. If you're down in Florida, don't worry. Your kids did not get this test. They're still I saw an article. All the public libraries. Actually, I didn't see an article. Someone told me. They know somebody working. All the libraries at the schools now, not public libraries, have to scan the books into a special system that vets the titles for appropriateness in schools.
I didn't know that Ryan Reynolds was involved in the cotton gin.
In
the aviator cotton gin.
Absolutely, the spinning
Yes.
of. He's in everything now. He's got his hands in everything.
No, it's just,
He looks good for his age, though. Yeah, having been involved in the cotton gin.
Yes.
Are you in danger of being attacked by a killer whale by any chance in Florida? I think you're okay.
No, we're good. It's
Portugal.
The water's way too fucking warm here.
Portugal and Spain. We're having some issues with killer fucking whales. They're attacking boats. It's not people.
Yeah. No, it's.
And they're supposedly a docile creature.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Well, they don't attack us. I wouldn't want to be a fish.
There's a ton of those fuckers. Where's that? Cape Town. There's a lot of killer whales because there's so many great whites.
Right.
I think that's where it's at.
So
that's where the Indian and the Atlantic Ocean meet, is Cape Town.
In Cape Town, it's because you have the warm waters there that the great whites seek out. So there's two theories as to why this is happening, why orcas are sinking boats. The first is somewhat logical.
First is Biden.
The debt ceiling. They're enraged.
It's Biden, and then it's the fucking the fact that the vote was stolen. Those two things, because if there's one thing an orca can't stand, is a fucking fraudulent vote. And
you see, he thought they said boat, but it was vote.
It's vote. No, no, they're attacking the vote.
Their hearing is underwater.
It's. No, you stupid orcas! It's not boat. It's
the vote was stolen, not the boat.
Oh, my bad. Free my people.
So the first
they
theory,
have.
Well, the second theory was after the fraudulent boat is that they're being playful. That it's playfulness, and then the other thing I heard was that the junior orcas, from growing up and seeing the injuries, the rudders causing injuries, that they were treating it like a predator.
I thought they saw the fucking that controversial special on SeaWorld. What was it called? Dark Water or whatever it was.
I don't know. Was this a Ron DeSantis production? Is he going after SeaWorld next?
No, they had to shut all those fuckers down because they were the killer whales, the shamus.
Blackfish? Oh,
right.
Yeah,
blackfish. Yeah, that was it. Can you say that in Florida?
Blackfish?
Yeah.
No, you have to change the second part to face. Could you survive a shark attack? I'd like to know. What would you do if attacked by a shark?
Number one, I would probably let it attack me, because the only way that a shark's going to get me is I'm going to be fucking about 30 feet up on the beach. So I tell everybody that's down here, like, you never go in the ocean. I'm like, dude, the day I pull up to a red light and I look over and there's a hammerhead driving an Escalade, I'll fucking get in the water. Until then,
that's their domain. They can have it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because if I lost half a foot, I'm sorry, man. I don't think I'm going to be able to fucking kick a football, so my life's over. And I think Tom Dempsey already fucking did that, so I'm done.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with the laws of nature. That that's your domain. I'm up here. I'm good. I don't need to fly. I'm not going out of a plane.
Yeah, I'm not going out on some Zodiac. I'm not going out on something that can turn over. If it ain't a fucking 90-foot fucking yacht,
You never did the alligator gimmick down there where you would go on those Everglade boats, the fan boats?
Fuck no. Why? It's like people say.
That's a good question.
I can't believe a guy like you. You seem like you'd be such a motorcycle guy. Why? Because at some point in my life, I wasn't in the kitchen and fucking around with a dozen eggs and drop one, and when it hit the floor, it fucking splatted. No, if it would have bounced up to me and I would have caught it, I'd say, you know what, fucking being on a motorcycle is not a bad idea. But until the egg wins, I think I'll fucking. I can barely drive a fucking car. Gonna take 2 fucking wheels away from me? Jesus.
So
how the fuck do these guys come down on Bike Week and get fucking just hammered?
You got a week for everything. There's fucking Bike Week. There's something called Jeep Week. Did we talk about this?
Dude, we have
It's any excuse to stand in the street like a drunken asshole.
Giant fucking truck week.
I need a calendar for when all this stuff is so I don't go anywhere near Daytona.
Right now, like May is like, this is the month. May is the month where there's like not shit. I think Jeep Week starts out the month, and then once Jeep Week is done, it's like all the servers of every restaurant, like this is when you tip 30 to 40%, and they look at you like, I'm going to make rent.
There's seemingly something constantly. And what's the strip that they all drive down?
A1A, Atlantic.
Oh, they're on A1A for the
A1. I mean, but
it looks smaller.
But Bike Week. That's Main Street.
Well, then maybe like a single lane on each side.
Yeah, that's Main Street.
Okay,
that's where
a lot of bars still.
Yeah, but that was where old school Bike Week. But now they've got Rossmar, who owned the big Harley Davidson place here.
Daytona Harley, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Rossmar, who was killed in Sturgis.
Couldn't believe that.
Yeah. But, it's like anything else. It was like some fucking older couple that was in a pickup truck carrying a large trailer, and they just, as they started over, they didn't have the proper side mirrors, and they didn't have clearance, so they just clipped him with that fucking trailer.
Is that what happened? They went into his lane and
with and knocked him off his. He was older anyway, But yeah, they fight. It's just. But he built a place that was one Daytona. He built it because they fucked with him, and Daytona, the city of Daytona, like across from his Harley Davidson place on Beach Street, is where that's where Bike Week, all the tents were, and the Broken Spoke, and all those other things. And they just kept taxing and taxing and taxing, and laying the hammer down on him. He said, "You know what? Fuck you," and he went out towards Palm Coast and built that big place out there.
It was massive.
Yeah, and they have their concerts are out there. It really did a great service to the city, because it pulled everything, like for people like me, like where I live on the beach, like you're still going to get people going up and down the beach road, but it's not like it used to be where you would, for a week, like there maybe take you 20 minutes to get out of your driveway.
Would they go that far south?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're next to my condo is a place called the North Turn, and that's the actual north turn of the Indianapolis racetrack when they used to run on the beach. So if I look out my window, that stretch of beach right there, that's the back straightaway for the racetrack, and then the North Turn is exactly that. That's the northern part of the turn, and that's where the restaurant's at. And then Atlantic was the road, and you go, and there's like one or two houses you could almost see that were kind of like concession type stands.
Oh, yeah.
That have been like redone, and yeah, so You know, when I moved down here, man, it was fucking. It wasn't built up at all.
Right.
But now it's.
You speculated and bought some real estate, did you not?
Yeah, I did. I mean, that was. It was my mom. You know, brought us. The first time I ever saw the ocean was my mom brought us to Daytona Beach. So.
I want you to watch this little skit. It's a very quick skit that stars a young Donald Trump. And I'm going to ask you a question about it. Let me play this little video here. It's a fun little thing that I found.
You know, you're really beautiful. And a woman that looks like that has to have her own special scent.
Oh, thank you. Maybe you could tell me what you think of this scent.
Smells like asshole.
I like that.
This may be the best of all.
Crazy asshole.
Oh, you dirty boy, you. Oh. Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
You can't say I didn't try. Mayor Giuliani,
So those of you that are all right, pause it. So those of you that are listening will have to watch the skit to see a man in drag spraying perfume and Donald Trump
burying his bosom.
Yeah.
His
Did
head
you
into her
recognize
bosom.
the man?
Giuliani. That's
It
what
is
I said.
Giuliani.
As I said, asshole.
It smells like ass. I figured you identified him when you saw it.
Yeah, immediately.
It took me 3 watches to figure out who I was seeing.
So, if that's his idea of a fucking skit, gee, does that put any validity into the fucking dressing room situation?
Not at all.
Hey, give me a little, look like Rodney Dangerfield. You gotta give me a little something for fucking trying, man. Jesus.
That was for a roast of Giuliani.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that in the past...
Did they fucking do it to his brain?
3 years that hasn't been played anywhere. That I saw anywhere.
Too busy showing fucking sweat fucking hair dye.
But that, listen...
if I was Giuliani, I would use that tape and then fucking sue Trump for $5 million.
For harassment, right?
Yeah.
Well, if that didn't get you going, a little Blue Chew will, folks. The stiff one of the week, which is coming, no pun intended, is brought to you by our favorite stiff sponsor, Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex, guys. Remember the days you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, it's BlueChew.com. What are they? They're a unique service. They deliver you the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. Take them anytime. Just sign up at BlueChew.com, consult one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, bang, you'll receive your prescription within days. Best part, it's all done online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets, made in the USA, prepared, shipped to your door in discreet packaging. And it works, guys. Just get that confidence, okay? Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. We got a special offer for our listeners, as we always do. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code NASH at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code NASH, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the stiff one of the week. Whoa, okay. That's maybe the Blue Chew kicked in. Let me find out if that in fact happened with Kev. Kev, did the Blue Chew kick in? Did you have to go?
No, fucking Giuliani's over there fucking bitching. He's tied up too tight.
Oh, you had to loosen him up a little bit. Take the ball gag out of his mouth.
Yeah.
This stiff
Giuliani kind of looked like B. Arthur.
A touch, yeah. B. Arthur and Jay Silverheels, what played Tonto on The Lone Ranger. Okay, this stiff one takes us to San Francisco, okay? This was at the, I want to get this absolutely correct. This was a San Francisco Board of Supervisors meeting, and a protester discussing the police shooting of a transgender individual who was shoplifting. Decides to handle the her public comment section in the following manner.
I don't have any words prepared today. I just want you to feel our pain. I don't know if you can at this point based off your policy choices, but I have to pretend you have some form of empathy left. So I am going to spend the next minute screaming, because that is what is going on in here. That is what the trans genocide in this country, in this city, has brought me to. Imagine that! I hate this! I hate what you've done to us! I hate what you're doing to us! I hate you, Board of Supervisors! I hate you, London Breed! I hate you, Jenkins!
Hold D.I. Jenkins accountable.
Okay.
Hey, man!
So, all right. So,
Cowards!
Steve, I wanted to know if you can isolate the scream.
Do we have to?
Because I feel that.
Jesus Christ! It's fucking. That's brutal as it is.
But you don't feel that that this is important to have handy for moments where I don't know.
I don't think fucking somebody's emotions is something to make light of.
No, not that. No, the audio.
That's what we're doing though. Right now, I haven't seen this clip before, so I'm seeing somebody that's very distraught, and they're fucking to the point where they're fucking out of their minds screaming, and we're looking for this thing to be in a gag roll.
Not her. No, wait, hold on. Not this. Not the situation that they were talking about.
When we hear that scream, my mind's going to go directly to that fucking poor girl, and her fucking anguish.
You see, I was being far more trite than that. I was just looking to isolate the scream.
Well,
I had disassociated from the actual event.
I don't see how. It was only fucking 6 seconds ago.
No, meaning that the sound and the substance of the commentary were separate to me. I felt that there were times I wanted, like when I opened an email from getting our advertiser statement. I feel like I want to scream like that. Our financial statement from advertising, our payment. I feel like I want to scream like that sometimes.
But you're talking about transgender genocide. That's a little bit more fucking, a little bit higher up on the totem pole than fucking whether or not our advertisers pay.
Well, anger is anger, and that was my anger at the moment that I wanted to scream like that.
Well,
so what I'm hearing is that you want to do Florida man or Jersey guy right now.
Anything to get us out of
is
this
what I'm hearing.
Out of this awkward fucking moment. Jesus.
This is real. This is real life. These awkward moments are real life. We can't, we can't have a love fest all the time. I'd like you, as a matter of fact, because of that, I'd like you to call me shallow and insensitive right now.
What's that?
I'd like you to call me shallow and insensitive right now.
Why?
Because I deserve it, and you should be setting me straight right now for all the listeners who think that we sit around and talk about Second Amendment and give each other hand jobs all day long.
I think my tone and my verbiage was.
I wanted a much more newsworthy lashing than you gave, but.
Now you're trying exactly. Now you're trying to fucking once again capitalize and make it newsworthy.
Listen,
Jesus Christ, let it fucking go.
It
was in poor taste.
Thank you. Finally, something.
It's in poor taste. It's in poor taste now. And it's like, let's just go to Jersey. Let's just not talk about this anymore and go to the next bit.
The things that make a good producer make a bad human being. And the things that make a good human being make a bad producer sometimes. I've always copped to that.
That's a cop. That's what it is.
All right. 2 headlines. One, a real Florida man headline.
I hope one's gay, some kind of gay bashing.
It's going to be screaming. No. One's going to be a Florida guy, and one's going to be a Florida man Jersey guy, okay? Real headlines. Kevin's record is rather impressive here. Let's see if he can keep it up. All right, first headline. Man calls 911 multiple times asking deputies to bring him ice cream and liquor. And the second headline, ex-daycare owner's vile attack on an Amazon driver ends with hate crime charges.
First one's Florida, second one's Jersey.
How do you do this? There's nothing. I worked hard to make sure nothing about these two were in any way indicative of the stereotypical Florida man. There's another Jersey guy headline. Jersey guy host makes insensitive segment for the stiff one of the week. Jersey guy, clearly. What about man calls 911 multiple times asking deputies to bring ice cream and liquor was more Florida than...
Number one, ice cream. Fucking up north, they shut the fucking custard stands and all that shit down for like 5 or 6 months because nobody eats ice cream. So you're immediately taking half the year where people don't go and get ice cream in Jersey, and so that alone.
The supermarket. Maybe he's going to send them to the supermarket.
No, it's ice cream, and he's calling for liquor. That's so fucking Florida.
And the ex-daycare owner who racially attacks an Amazon driver.
The fact that it's Amazon. Walmart doesn't have trucks dropping shit off at your crib. That's Florida.
Very good. Very good. And I do have a bonus one here. At a public hearing in San Francisco. No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. I have a bonus one here. It involves a story you told. Steve, bring up the article. This is a Jersey guy. I almost made this the Jersey guy this week, but you would have gotten it too quickly. It was a Jersey guy that the sheriff that you work out with had extradited and waited for.
And he waited for him when he
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
This
was a Jersey guy we were talking about.
He's had several. They've all been up north fuckers. Yeah, they fucking threatened to kill him.
Yeah. And, yeah, that was it. He was from, what was his, where's he from in Jersey? So we can get a clarification here. Monmouth Junction. That's down the shore. Yep. Richard Golden was the gentleman in question. The big thing, I guess, this week on television has been, if you're into watching two cities like Florida, two states like Florida and Vegas prepare to square off on the ice for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
if that's not enough for you,
that brings back some fucking late 1960 feelings of the fucking.
I was going to say it ain't 77.
The original 6.
Jesus Christmas.
I told you when I was talking to you. I was talking to you today. I said, "Fuck, man." I said, when the Hurricanes fucking won the Stanley Cup, I went, "What?" Like, you know, when the Atlanta got the Flames, or I guess they were the Thrashers, weren't they? Did they change them to the Thrashers?
Thrashers, yeah. And here's the thing: first of all, the players are from anywhere. Okay, so it doesn't matter. They Canadian, Czech, Ukrainian, whatever. They come from all over the place,
Right.
and they can play it on any team. There is just something subtly, psychologically. Hockey's played in the winter up here, okay? When I go to a hockey game, I come out and I'm wearing a fucking jacket. I just watch them play on the ice. Sometimes if you're sitting too close, you wear the jacket on the, if you're too close to the ice, you have to wear the jacket because you're feeling it come off. There's something psychological about it being a winter sport. And that's out the window. But it isn't like Christmas is out the window. I don't know how you guys do Christmas down there. I could never be down there for Christmas. There's an element removed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's just a tough swallow.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I agree. I mean, it's very, but it's not like the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they've won fucking 3 Stanley Cups, and the Aces have won 1 Stanley Cup already.
No, I know. I mean, it's the team's legit. I think wasn't it the first year that Vegas won?
I think so.
First year out of the gate. But all that to say, if you're not watching the NBA final or the playoffs, you're probably watching the NBA finals. And we are recording this the day after we got our NBA finals matchup locked.
Yes.
Which is Denver and Boston. Kevin sent me one text after the game. Denver will crush. Miami. Excuse me. I said Boston. I meant Miami. Denver will crush Miami.
Just too big.
And that's what you said, too big. Now, I said, I just
Too
felt
much
the
slang.
impression I got from watching, I watched the full game last night, but I watched clips, was that, you know what? Miami could play a perimeter game. They could play a perimeter game.
Well, they're the only team that's shooting the 3 with a higher percentage in the playoffs than Denver is Miami.
It's very close. That's the thing that surprised me.
I want to think they're 39-6 to 38-7 maybe.
Let's see here.
I know they're really close. They're
the 3-point percentage for Denver. Yeah, Denver is 38.6, and where is me? 3-point percentage Miami. Yeah, 39. You're right. So it's it's a 0.4% differential. And which surprised me. I thought Miami would have had the higher. Also, for their field goal percentage, Denver at 49,
Miami's
47. What was it? 47.2. I again got the impression that Miami was draining them at a higher percentage. Now you look at their against opponents. Miami's putting 107 an average. This is just playoffs. This isn't regular season. Playoffs thus far. Miami putting 107.4 points on the board to Denver's 108.1. So again,
but
minuscule, less than a point.
If you go to the regular season, Miami was the lowest scoring team in the NBA.
Oh, for the regular season?
For the whole season, all teams. Miami was the lowest scoring.
So they brought the playoff game, but it looked like a convincing win in Boston, and they went 7 games, right? So I know you were surprised. You told me early on that Miami was going to hang on, but they Jesus, did Boston give that game away last night?
Yeah, but I mean
fucking turnovers.
How big?
They have 20 turnovers, probably.
So I don't. So this is what you've got. You've got Aaron Gordon, who's 6'8", 250-ish, 235, somewhere around there. Then they got Michael Porter Jr., who's 6'10", that can shoot the 3. Then you got the Joker at 7'1". It's just like, so if I'm coaching Miami,
I was just going to ask you this.
I would. My first move would probably be to see how Kevin Love does against the Joker, and at least he'll have some. I mean, that would be my first move. I would, because they put Bam on him. Bam's going to he'll be in foul trouble in 3 minutes.
Well, right, you can't play that kind of game. And you have to spread out the court.
And for them that zone's not going to work. Even when they break off of that and go to that matchup man to man when they just on the picks they just switch.
Mm-hmm.
They just switch everything. But fucking, you got Murray. You got two. Boston shot for shit.
Right. What was their free throw? No, I'm sorry. Their 3-point.
I don't even know. Fucking
stats.
I want to think it was in the 30-ish
in last night's game.
Oh, last night they were fucking.
Yeah.
They weren't even. They were maybe 21%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know. It wasn't 25 when they gave the stat out. Like they gave the number of field goals and a number of attempts.
3 points, yeah.
But you know that when you watch Denver, the difference between Jokovic is when he catches a ball and he rotates and throws to the fucking guy that's set for the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Boston is half the time that the guys from Boston are catching the ball like this as it's being thrown over to them, and they're fucking bringing it down and then shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Denver guys are like waiting like this, and they go, ball's like right here, bam, boom.
Right.
And that's
keeping it low.
That's the huge difference is the quicker that because if you know that ball's going to be there, then your feet are already set.
Mm-hmm.
So once your feet are set, it's just catch, square your shoulders, and then fucking follow through. And I mean, these fucking, it's amazing because I'll go to a couple of pro games every year, and I like to get like all my buddies will be like, I'm like, I want to go early. I want to watch these fucking guys warm up,
work out.
Because to me, I want to watch. Yeah, what the fuck, like.
You're not buying the Bam Adebayo.
Oh, he's fucking brutal. I didn't think he was. He was a good college player at Kentucky, but they keep. If they would have fucking said one more time on the fucking coverage, every time he scores 20 points, they win. Bitch, he didn't score fucking 20 points, but one game in that fucking 7-game series. I think he had 21 or 4 one game. I think for that series, I think he averaged 13-4.
Mm-hmm.
I might be completely fucking wrong, but I just thought that he was, and they can't. He does not have any business bringing the ball up under any kind of pressure, and they kind of use him as like a lead power point, like kind of almost like they use LeBron. He has no handle. It's like, and he can't shoot the ball worth a fuck. I'm like, how the fuck Miami is how Miami is the best team in the East. It says a lot for that. I don't know what they're fucking paying the coach, but
is there any matchup on the floor that they have? Like, what about like at the point, like Murray and what's his name, Lowry?
Murray's fucking. No, they don't match up with Murray. They don't match up like I said. They're 7 foot 6'10", 6'8", 6'9" across the front.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. I mean, how tall's Bam?
I think
6'9"?
6'9", I think. Yeah, I can check right now, but
yeah, he's like 6'9" and probably 230, 225. Fuck.
How do you change your game? I mean, you're
There's a reason Denver's fucking been the most successful team this whole season.
6'9", 6'9", 255.
I ain't no fucking 255.
I don't know, on ESPN. Maybe they got it wrong. But
what do they got fucking with him? If he's 255, what the fuck's LeBron? Pull up LeBron. If LeBron's 245, I'm going to just say
check the veracity. All right, let's see.
Yeah, if we're worried about fucking wrestling being a work.
All right, here he is. Let's see his bio. LeBron 6'9", 250. 5 pounds lighter than
he's 5 pounds lighter than. And look at those fucking two guys side by side. One looks like fucking Scarecrow, and the other one looks like fucking should be playing tight end.
So you're coaching the team. Everyone probably has Miami as the underdog, right?
God, yes. I would imagine first game minimum 8 points.
And so
long 7-game series, and you're going a mile up. Playing wrestling in Denver was a motherfucker.
Oh, because of the air.
Oh, yeah. And then I remember we would do Denver. Then the next night we do Colorado Springs, which was like another 2,500 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
And I went like 30 minutes with Triple H in Colorado Springs. And then we flew to L.A. I had my whole body done in a casting for the Punisher so they could make that guy laying at the end of the steps. And then I went and trained legs. I got 4 or 5 hours sleep and went and trained chest at Gold's Gym. Got on the plane, was dehydrated as fuck from everything. Drank a little bit of water, took a gimmick so I could sleep, woke up, got there, went right basically to the arena, worked a tag match. It was Hunter and Rick Flair versus me and Sean. Went to Sean. This is a saving grace. Went to Sean's room after the match. We got food, and we got like we drank. I didn't drink any alcohol, and he witnessed me. And the next day, I walked across the lobby and fucking man, it just I passed out. And
well, yeah, I mean, I'd hear NFL players talk about it all the time with the amount of oxygen you take. I want to go back to the NBA for 1 second. So, I know you were pulling for Los Angeles.
Yep.
Early on. Now, how do you think they would have stacked up had they beaten Denver? And had the you don't think that
Butler's not going to Butler and LeBron would be the but neither team's going to put that guy on the other guy. LeBron might go on Butler. I would not. If I was Miami, I would not put Butler on LeBron. Bam, Davis will kill Bam.
I was going to say, what's going on at center?
Yeah, Davis will kill him. It's whether or not those other the guys they picked up, man, it just seemed like the Lakers ran out of it took everything that the Warriors had to get by that young Sacramento team. It took everything the Lakers had to get by a beat down Warriors team. And fuck, when that in game 4 when LeBron had 30 and with about 4 seconds left, he went down the tunnel and they showed a shot of him on TNT. And he took his jersey off, He took his jersey off because it was probably so saturated. He was probably going to change out his Under Armour and his jersey. But just his body language to me was, I'm fucking spent. Because he had to do that. I mean, it was the 4th game, and he gave everything he did, and that barely fucking... I think maybe they were up by maybe 2 or 3, at half, and it's just like I knew right then. I said, "Fuck, man, this ain't gonna. This is it. They're gonna get swept."
Right? Yeah.
You know, it's right. Like right now, like it seems like when I'm on Instagram, I follow a lot of I do like a lot of sports things. I follow. It seems like everybody's talking about this debate on who's the greatest. You know, the GOAT in basketball.
That has gone on forever, but the
But,
GOAT of all time, greatest of all time.
And it's like if you say anybody but Jordan, like. But my whole thing is this, and like I was fortunate enough to watch Chamberlain play, and he was the greatest player by far in that era, but I never saw him play live against Chamberlain. I mean, not Chamberlain, against Russell.
Bill Russell. Yeah.
So I never saw that, but at the same time, Chamberlain had Hal Greer and a young Chet Walker, I think, for a year or two. But besides that, Chamberlain never had the teams that Russell had.
And when you have these discussions, it's kind of weird in basketball because what position are you talking about, right? I mean, everybody's got a different job on the court. Number two, are you talking about individual performance? You can make a case for someone like Wilt, even people who have only seen Jordan, that bring up Jordan, tremendous individual performances. But there are a lot of guys that made everyone around them infinitely better.
When you talk about the greatest, I mean, it does limit it to pretty much 10 players.
Yeah, you're right. I think those 10 are on everybody's list.
Yeah.
But it's what you prioritize. Do you prioritize amazing individual highlight performances?
Mine is the domination of that era by that talent. So, like Chamberlain
as an individual,
Chamberlain was physically the most. Like, they changed rules because of Chamberlain. They changed rules because of Shaquille. They took the dunk out of college basketball to stop Jabbar. Like those guys were. All three of those guys were game changers.
Do you prioritize scoring over passing? Assists?
I think it's a combination of all. That's like
because I don't think you can put Wilt in the category for assists or passing.
Look up his last fucking couple of years. I think one of the seasons for the Lakers, I think he averaged 13. Pull up Chamberlain's assists. When Chamberlain didn't have to score, fucking he was an unbelievable talent. There's a guy that averaged 50 points a game and 30 rebounds in one season.
Okay, stats. No, I don't have a career one. I have year by year. But all right, let me look.
Go to 70. What was 71? Was he 70? Maybe 70 was his first
assists. His highest year for assists was 67-68 with the Sixers. 8.6 assists. His 71 season was 4 assists. That was his highest, 8.6 assists in the 67.
And what did he average scoring?
That season?
Yeah.
He had 8 assists and 24 points. 24 and 8. His highest point.
That's basically what LeBron did this year.
His highest point average, his first year was 50 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You average 50 points a game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I mean, that's 1961.
Is what it is. You're also wearing Chuck Taylors.
His let's see, his field goal percentage is. You got to look for a year with significant points, though.
There isn't a year. There isn't a year without significant
well,
points.
I mean,
maybe
I guess
the
at
last
the end,
the last 3 or 4 with the Lakers. Maybe,
that's what I was going to say. At the end, 13 points in 1972, but
he shoots 73% from the fucking floor.
72. So all right. So if you take a year like 1966,
take the year he averaged 50 points a game. What was his field goal percentage?
Yeah, 50%.
So he's hitting half of what he's.
Right. So he would have averaged 100. If he was. Well, no. If his field goal percentage was as high as it was in 66,
he'd average
68.
He'd average 68 points a game.
Exactly. So yeah, no. Listen, I no doubt, but to my point, individual domination.
No, but it's also, but when you talk about, you also championships. How many championships did they win? So the greatest of all time would be Russell, because I think he won 13, including coaching.
Right, I know, but you can't do that, right? Because there's been great athletes that, like Dan Marino, has no ring.
Well, I mean, there's a reason.
Well. You Charles say the reasons the rest of the team?
Charles Barkley doesn't have a ring. No, right. I mean, that's the whole thing. That it's to win a ring is a lot of it's luck. You know, a lot of it's just for a roster spot, and you just don't happen to be on, a team that wins.
Correct.
But then you look at somebody like Jordan, and it's very hard to argue with his. He went to the finals 6 times and was 6-0. But then who's
your first? Who do you start the team with? The all Nash team.
My first choice is I would.
Do you start at center?
Always. But see, I'm old school. See,
I was going to say that's a very old school philosophy.
Nowadays, it's
build your team around the center.
Well, I mean, then again, you look at the best team. The two MVPs this year were both centers. MB and fucking Joker were the time. Then the third guy's a 7-footer, Giannis. So you got the Freak, Joker, and fucking MB. They're all fucking 7-footers.
Where do you put Shaq in all this?
Shit, I mean, it's hard not to choose him. The only thing that hurts Shaq is his free throw shooting.
I was gonna say nothing. Yeah, I mean, but
but just as far as just like you listen to stories from guys that played against him, there was just. He was fucking, at the end of his career, he was probably 360, just drop stepping and dunking on motherfuckers. But I just think that, for me, it's Jabbar.
Jabbar, even more so than Wilt.
Yeah, I would pick Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Because if it's in their all those guys' primes, and I need to get a bucket, I'm going to take Kareem shooting a skyhook over anybody else doing anything else.
Yeah. Hard to argue against that.
Even though the statistics will tell you that LeBron has hit the most clutch shots of any player in the history of the NBA. Number 2 being Kobe. So... And, the only thing is for me, like I look at LeBron and I look at the run he's had with it. I mean, he's, changed teams and done a lot of things, but I've never heard anybody that played with LeBron talk shit about him.
Well, as a person, you mean?
As a person or a player. I've never heard anybody.
If you're looking for your starting center, you're going to build your team around your center. What's the stat as the coach or as the scout that's going to be most important to you? Is it going to be rebounds? Are you going to look at your boards first? Are you going to look? Are you going to look at points? Can you score in the post?
To me, the number one thing that you need to have in order to play pressure defense is you have to have a rim protector. You have to have somebody, if you're going to gamble and fucking pressure the wings and you're going to fucking play my brand of basketball, which is fucking, I'd like people that fucking play defense. And you got to have somebody that back there to swat fucking shots.
Blocks.
Yeah. We got to get a rim protector.
See, I'm looking at Shaquille's numbers. His first year, his debut year for Orlando, he averaged 13.9, 14 boards a game. And his, what do you have, 24 points? 23 points and a 56% field goal percentage.
He was a fucking man.
He was a presence. I mean, of course. He was massive.
Yeah, but people forget, man, that fucking Orlando Shaq. You know, watch the movie Blue Chips with Nick Nolte as the coach. Yeah, fucking Shaq is it's almost like it's CGI when he does shit in that movie. And it's just Shaq. It's just, you know. I know that fucking, man, like, I think I could fucking, like, Jabbar's just going to shoot over you, but but fucking, there's, at my fucking strongest, biggest, baddest, fucking, man, there's that one clip of it. I think his name was, I know his last name was Dudley.
Chris Dudley.
Yeah, and he played with the Knicks.
He was with the Nets for a while.
And fucking, there's that, Shaq takes one fucking step and Dudley fucking like bounces off him and fucking Shaq turns and dunks on him. And as he dunks on him, fucking Dudley's bent over and Shaq takes his hand and pushes him.
Oh, really?
See if you can find. It's. I've seen it. I'd say it's like the fucking the Buckner fucking deal. It's like one of those deals that's just
to play it on a loop.
Yeah, it's fucking.
When he was with the New Jersey Nets, I was at a Houlihan's not far from the arena where they played at the time, the Meadowlands, and he was after a game and he was in there and he was drinking at the bar and I was talking to him. I had tickets for either like the next game or the game after that when Boston was coming to town. I would always try to get in and see Larry, and so I was bullshitting with him, and he was very big hands. I mean, some of these guys, you look at them, I mean, wow, he'd be impressed. And on the court, he just looked completely lost all the time. And you remember his free throw shooting was comical. I mean, it was.
Guys with big hands usually are horrible free throw shooters.
He was horrendous. I offered that night, only just listen, I could give you some free throw pointers before your fucking Celtic game.
I bet you appreciated that.
He laughed. That's the kind of guy I was. Chris Dudley. So all right. So the spread. Go ahead.
You're lucky to be alive.
He would have to catch me first. That big slow prick.
Fuck that.
The spread for Thursday night's game. What did you say before? I think you hit it. What did you say?
I said 8.
Yeah, it's 8.5.
Okay. That's.
And the over-under is 219.
And I took the Heat in 8.5, and Boston fucking was up by $1 billion, but they just quit playing hard, and they ended up Miami lost by 9. So fucking I didn't cover. Turned around, took the Celtics giving 2.5. They win by 1. Don't cover. It's like fuck you. Like, why am I even betting? What? It's like then I keep telling myself, yeah, but man, can you imagine what it's like to watch a game with no action?
No, I know.
You know what I mean? I don't even give a fuck if it's $100.
Right. No, I know.
You know?
It makes it so. It makes it so infinitely better.
Because then you have a reason when your wife looks at you and she goes, why are you screaming at the TV? They can't fucking hear you. Because I got money on it, fuck.
Tremendous. Yeah. Folks, maybe you want to attend the game. Maybe you'd like to be there in person. Let's go online. Steve, let's see. Go on GameTime.
Let's go. Let's see
what's co.
Let's see what
co.
Let's see what some decent fucking finals tickets are going
See
for.
if we can get some tickets for Thursday night's game there. While Steve brings that up, I'm going to tell you that this is the place to get last-minute tickets at the guaranteed lowest price, okay? Buying tickets for these things should not be stressful, difficult, and you should be able to do it at the last moment. Here, we just found out what the game was going to be last night, right? So we're going to have to jump in and we're going to have to get our tickets quickly. So, and I love the interface. The app is so easy to use. You click on the seat, you get to see your view of the court or whatever, the ring, the stage, whatever you're going to see. So now we're looking at a ticket right now, Steve.
Show me halfway up center court.
The mic is behind you at this point. Talk right there.
Halfway up center court.
Right there?
Yeah, what's that right there?
All right, so halfway center court, bottom section now. This is
bottom. Is
how much? You'll have to zoom, Steve. I can't see the what is that price right there? Go ahead. It is.
Does it say $51,900?
No, I don't think so.
This is what does it say? 1,920? Yeah.
There we go. There's this. Okay, so 1,000
yeah,
on that.
1,920.
So give me a second tier. I don't mind being a part of the second tier here.
Not basketball.
We're on the game time. No, you really mezzanine?
Fuck that.
I can see the whole court. You can see the play develop behind the.
You can't get the fucking. Yeah, you're not gonna. Jesus Christ, man.
Gotta teach this kid everything. His insensitive fucking reads. And fucking.
Nobody will be able to hear you screaming up on those fucking nosebleeds.
Got you to put over the screen finally. All right, so listen, GameTime.co. This is the place for last-minute tickets. This is what we're fucking around. We're here with, guys. And the promo code KLIQ, KLIQ, is going to get you whatever tickets you decide to get with $20 off of your first purchase. Okay? It's the fastest-growing ticket app in the country, and there's a reason for that, guys. I love the interface. You get images. You can download the app. You don't have to go to GameTime.co. Just put the app on your phone. That's what I did. I got my.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Easiest way to do it. Create an account. Go there now. Redeem the code KLIQ for $20 off. Download GameTime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thank you, GameTime. Back to Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. And this is your favorite time. It's all of our favorite time. It's fan access to Kevin Nash. You can hashtag AskNash, and we will grab some of those questions. Or you can join us here in the live audience. Every show is a live audience taping, and we'll take some questions from our folks here who are members of the 11 Soft Club. If they're still awake. We had a big bullshit session for about 20 minutes there. In between commercials. But the original Travman has written, Big Kev, what was your biggest payday in the acting world? Can I guess? I want to guess. It's Magic Mike, the second one, because of the points.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding. Second place, the first Magic Mike?
Yes.
Okay. Fernham Schnavitz the third.
Anytime a movie does $100 million, it gets made for less than like 8.
There's a little bit of profit.
Yeah,
to
there's
be whacked up.
Little something there. Little something there. Dog was no slouch. Dog did well on a low.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that. That surprised me. With
I mean, it was just some nice checks that
You had some profit participation there as well?
Yeah, I think I was one of the few. I think Channing just buddy system me because, but so we were on break when we brought this up, so I have to bring this back up so the people at home won't do this. But so last night after the Heat game, and I want to make sure everybody knows it out there that I'm a huge Heat fan. Like, I want the Heat to win. I just don't think they've got much of a chance. But then I've said that against the Bucks. I've said it all the way through this whole whole fucking
and here
run.
They are, yeah,
and they're in the final. So it goes against. But then again, this could be the year. At the same time, the Nuggets have never won anything. So, I think the Nuggets were in the finals, or they were in the conference finals against the Lakers in the bubble. I think that's the furthest they've ever went. So, so after the game was over, I was kind of jazzed because they blew them out, and my team was going forward because my Lakers had shit the bed already, and I decided to go on Max, not HBO Max, but Max.
Because he knows how to do that now.
Because then, yeah. And I saw the movie Barbarian. And I had remembered hearing, some hoopla about this Barbarian movie. And I knew it was a horror movie. It was kind of like a Saw, like a low budget, but really, kind of and when I can just say this, if I had to categorize it without giving anything away, it's kind of Saw meets Blair Witch. So that's kind of where this kind of goes, and I found myself fucking really, really into it, and I'm talking about, absolutely stone sober watching this.
Really?
Yeah. Because I can't drink because of the stem cells.
Right.
And I don't do TH. I trained arms yesterday, so I trained chest today, so my shoulders and chest and everything. So when I go home, I'll take some cannabis, to take the pain away. But last night, I just didn't feel like it because I just wanted to get some sleep and I just want to watch. But then I watched that movie and I got jazzed. I was like, fuck. So,
I got Barbarian. This episode brought to you today by Barbarian.
On Max.
I have to find it. Okay, I'll check it out.
It's pretty easy to find. It's right. What was it? It was underneath. When I pulled up Max, it went to Succession, which I had watched on Sunday, and then it just said other choices or something.
And it recommended this.
And it went down. I went down below it, and there was.
Does the Barbarian have bumbling kids that he's going to leave his killing spree to? Just wondering why after Succession it recommended Barbarian.
No, there were several choices there.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they were trying to. It wasn't my only choice, but it was just. It's not like it used to be where you went to the home, and it was just all HBO shit. You couldn't watch.
There's a whole other catalog in there now.
So there's so much more streaming now. And this movie was there. I was trying to find the one that Batista had just done.
Not Guardians.
No, the Knock on the Cabin.
Oh, that's a Knight's movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for that, but I think that's on Prime Video, which I don't have. Because I saw an ad for it. It was a couple of, and actually there was several things, but I wanted to see that movie because I heard Dave was good in it, and I liked the premise of it. I thought that would be, 'cause I was looking for that kind of a movie, and then ended up fucking backing into this Barbarian, which I don't think fucking, I don't think anything could have, like, it was so film school shot from the beginning that, and it is also like it involves an Airbnb, you know, as part of the storyline, which, you know,
clearly they didn't clear the house with the butcher knife, I'm guessing.
Nope. But no, it was one of those. So it was it was a really good fit for where my brain was at last night.
Okay. And the word has come in that apparently Peacock has the knock on the cabin if you have a Peacock subscription.
I think I have.
I think it's
Peacock.
also at KliqThisTV.com for those of you out there looking to see. Sign up there and see if it's there. Maybe it's there as well.
I believe that's there.
Fernham Schnavitz, how fucking great was Howard Finkel? I wish he was immortal because he's the greatest ring announcer ever, in my opinion. Any memories or good stories about the Fink?
As I've said it before on this show, that if you were anywhere in the Northeast, but especially fucking that in New York City area, and you had to go, like, there's nothing worse than having like TV at the Manhattan Center, going out to stay at the Jetport in Newark on Route 9, and then having to make it out to Long Island the next day, and you know you got to go across the Verrazano Bridge. From
There's
there.
no way to do it. There's no way to do it.
But I mean,
helicopter.
Yeah, and he would like take, go over the Throngs Neck Bridge to so the and lo and behold, man, he was Waze before Waze was, he knew his way around that motherfucker.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Never heard that about the Fink. Audience questions. What do you got out there, guys?
It's because
the whole show.
He only did that for the Kliq.
Right. Kept everyone else down.
Yeah, but we had to hold them down, man.
Nobody else made their promos because of it.
We didn't go into the Succession thing yet, did we?
Yeah, that was top of the show. But you want more?
No, we didn't. Yeah, I guess we did.
I put it over. You thought it was meh.
But we really didn't go into what happened.
Well, I think we're being considerate of those that take 3 weeks to watch.
All right, no, we're good then.
Okay, Ryan, I saw you with a question. Dallas Page said on a Steve Austin podcast about a road story involving him, Kev, and Jake Roberts in Rick Rude's car, and the car having issues. Always wanted to know Big Kev's outlook.
So we go to Tampa, and the next day we have a shot at the Omni, but it's like afternoon shot. So Rude's his like first thing that of any significance he bought, I want to think it was, God, maybe a Bonneville. I feel bad that I don't remember exactly what the car was. It's giant blue convertible, white convertible top. And so Dally's going to drive, and me and Jake are going to drink beer, and Jake's going to sit in the back seat. And we put the top down, we go get our beer, and we take off. And it's just great, man. It's just, it's like a 6.5 hour drive. Good, Jake's a great guy to have in your car because Jake's got 1,000 stories. And, we were under Dallas and I were young boys then. Not age-wise, but as far as just, experience-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And, Jake was just telling stories. And, all of a sudden, fucking the dash just kind of flashes. Flashes again. And fucking all of a sudden, man, I don't know, the generator, whatever it was, but this motherfucking Bonneville just goes black. Headlights, everything goes black. engine stops. We're coasting down the right-hand lane of I-75. And it's like, and I mean, I'm not kidding you. I bet you we were 12 miles from any direction. It wasn't that long because Jake got out of the car and walked back to the fucking, like one of those boxes, those on the side of the road where they have the emergency boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he went there and called, and a wrecker service came, and then the wrecker service brought us. God, man, how the fuck did we get back? How did we get to Atlanta? We had to have gotten a rental car.
Was this one a rental, the Bonneville?
No, it was fucking. It was like my Bronco. It was like fucking, like Rick had got it since like an early payday. It was like his baby.
Yeah.
And he was moving back. He was moving to Atlanta, and he had kept it down. He had a house down in Tampa. And I think Rude had sold the house in Tampa, and this Bonneville was in the garage, and he wanted to move it up to his crib in Atlanta. And we were anointed to do it because we were knuckleheads. So
yeah. Ryan, thank you. Anyone else in the audience? Guys have waited it out. A long 2.5 hours thus far. John Thompson. Could Brian Bosworth have made a go of it in the business?
I think his shoulders were so fucked up after football. I think he just fucking.
What was the movie? It was horrendous. He gave that one. He gave
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. Is that what it was called?
Wasn't horrendous.
Oh, Jesus, Kevin.
It was exactly.
You had to be stone cold to enjoy it.
It was what it was supposed to be.
I guess. Right. I suppose. NWO Steed, can you talk more about TNA skits like the PCS Challenge or Dr. Nash? Any funny stuff that didn't make it on TV? Bob Backlund standards authorized by Bob Backlund.
Shit, man. Look at the shit that fucking made it. You think we cut anything? Fuck. I tell two guys they need a circumcision. I said, maybe you haven't noticed, but I've got razor sharp bicuspids. That fucking played. So
that aired. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if that airs, I mean, there was no.
Who oversaw that stuff there?
Borash was our fucking, like, he produced.
Oh, they left him to produce those. Okay.
And you put me and Borash in a room, and it's gonna freaking be debauchery.
Right.
So.
Very good.
Yeah. That was I can't remember a time in the business that I was more looking forward to going to TV than when I was with Alex Shelley. I don't know if I was just an old vampire and it was just nice to be around all that young fucking talent, that fucking blood. Those guys were fucking just. I remember one time that I got pissed off because I used to dress down with the the young guys, the cruiserweights and that, and the TNA decided that they were going to make the guys that were coming into TVs, and the lesser paid talent would stay at the Holiday Inn Express, and we're going to a cost cutting procedure where the guys were going to have to share a room, but still picked up by TNA.
How many?
What do you mean? How many
share
guys?
A room. Yeah.
No, 2 guys.
Oh, just 2. Okay.
Yeah, everybody, instead of having their own room, was going to have to share a room.
Okay.
And they're fucking bitching about it, and I'm like, you motherfuckers. I said, when I went up to WWE, I said, we had 4 motherfuckers in a room.
Right, mattress on the floor deal.
We were picking it up, and we were getting paid fucking $75 to fucking do TV. Like, motherfucker, you really? And you just say to yourself, that's just, different times.
Right. Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, wow, I'm arguing with myself. Because I was we got in a position to make sure that didn't fuck the young talent anymore. We made sure that there was a little bit higher standards.
Right.
So
I have no idea.
I saw something today. I don't know if it was a shoot or not, but 27 years ago, Jeff Hardy had a match with Pac, and it was his pro debut. Was that like an old tweet that somebody had retweeted?
This was Jeff's debut?
27 years ago today, maybe?
I'm doing the math.
Can anybody?
It could be.
Can anybody look that up? Can anybody look that up and see if?
I'm sure we'll get it. Steve's on the case.
Thanks, Steve.
Does that? Let me see. Someone saw it too. So
Wesley said, Wesley says he saw it.
While they do, I'm going to ask you allegedly well over 400 pounds' question. He says, I'm watching The Devil's Rejects. I remember DDP being in the movie as a bounty hunter. As much as I think he did a good job in the film, I always felt that role was meant for Kevin Nash. Did Rob Zombie ever approach you for a role?
No.
Nope. Okay. Well, there's a sequel. Well, let's see. We got something on here. May 23rd, 1994. So that very well could have been his debut match, given his age. Makes sense. Yeah, May 23rd, 1994. So, yeah, last week you saw that, and that would be correct. How about anybody else from the audience? What do we got? James Bedford. I was going to ask you how you think you'd down one-on-one on the Joker in your prime, but I'll go with a wrestling question. Any insight on the choice of Diesel for your WWF name? We'll take both. How would you handle Joker underneath?
Same, I'd kick him in the balls, punch him in the side of the head, see if I can get him to fight me. The diesel that came from the term diesel is somebody that's jacked on the streets, like that dude's Diesel. So Shane McMahon brought that as the name for me. So that was Shane came up with that. So
excellent.
And then that was before SHAQ Diesel.
I do remember the SHAQ Diesel, and I have a really bad Caucasian confession right now. I had the cassette, the rap cassette, Shaq's, where he, there were some guest appearances on it.
He does electronic music now. He DJs.
Well, that I don't have. That's any salvation for me.
No, I just saw it on like that show Shaq's Life or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
SHAQ Life.
Yeah, I had that. Had the Tone Loc cassette, which Funky Cold Medina was on. I was
working at the Cheetah. Every time that came on, I'd fucking go, like, all right, like I can listen to this a lot.
Yeah, that was ubiquitous that summer, man. That and Wild Thing, that was the other cut off that. There was a lyric on a song there that I always felt like a poser when I was kind of rapping along to it, getting ready in the morning. Look in the mirror, check the mirror, see my face sexy brown like syrup. I don't know, I always felt ill-equipped to deliver the line. I sang it, though. What else we got from the audience? Live audience. What do we got? Who's with us? Ryan. I wonder who Kev thinks is the top 3 guards in the NBA. Currently?
Current?
Let's see. What do you think, Ryan? You talking about now?
Yeah, it's got to be top 3 guards in the NBA. It's got to be now. One's Curry. Booker from Phoenix. And shit, man, depending on that, I mean, Murray's fucking.
You're gonna put Murray in.
I mean, the thing that'll be interesting is whether or not that white boy Horn will play but because he averages 20 a game for the Heat. That white boy.
Off the bench?
No, he started. He was a starter. They lost him and that Oladipo, whatever the kid that was. He said we had him here in Orlando, and then I think he went to Indiana and had fucking injury problems.
Right.
And then he went down to the Heat, and I think he's injured right now. So.
Okay, so Ryan, take those 3.
Yeah,
anybody else before we wrap it up? Give deference to the Brandon Douglas. When you powerbombed the giant on his head, how difficult was it to powerbomb the bigger guys? And was there any heat between you and Paul afterwards? I think we talked about this one episode. You didn't have anything with him, right? After that?
No, I didn't. He dropped his arm. I mean, I told him in the back I didn't want to do it. I just said, you put on too much weight, and I can't get you.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. He was athletic as fuck, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he thought he could pull it off, and he was chain smoking cigarettes, eating fucking hot dogs, and it just didn't happen. And we fucking, thank God we didn't get injured, because I never injured anyone in my career. And
well, the hot dogs and the cigarettes will do it. Will injure you if the power bomb doesn't.
I mean, so I mean, I didn't have. What they did, if you recall, Brandon, was they after that they outlawed the jackknife. They outlawed my finish, and then I used it on occasion here and there, but it was a fine, and Hogan paid the fine. So that was the storyline going forward on the botch.
Very good.
That I purposely tried to hurt Paul White.
Was there one more that popped up there? We'll get that in. Do you plan on doing conventions close to where you live in Florida? I live near Cape Canaveral.
No.
Nothing coming up?
No, nothing. It's just too small a market.
Gotcha. Well,
I try not to do anything in Florida. I've always been like, don't. I learned a long time ago, when you do illegal businesses, that the one thing you never do when you run a scam is run the scam in the state that you're in, because that way, if anybody checks when you're running the scam, if you don't do business in the state, the Better Business Bureau won't have any complaints, and you'll call and you'll say, hey, that Powerbomb pizza, is that a scam? Well, we don't have any complaints here.
Right.
Not the Powerbomb pizza is fucking a scam. I'm just.
Well, there you see a little help, a little life advice, a little business advice. We try to give you everything, and we've given you all. We've given you all we can give you. We're out of gas. We're playing in Denver. Sucking wind.
Spoken about somebody that was arrested by the FBI. But I learned that. I did learn that, though.
You were arrested by the FBI?
Yeah.
For? This is a whole episode we could do.
Oh, you think?
Coming next week.
No.
Stay tuned. Cliffhanger.
If you know it, then you fucking know it. If you don't know it, you don't know it.
Well, there's the challenge, public. Ask about it.
No, you won't. I won't give it. So
you won't sell it. Okay. Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2023, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, you want to do another one?
Yeah, because I don't feel like we covered anything this week. Did we? It just seemed like this thing fucking.
What, the last 2 hours and 39 minutes you're talking about?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's just, you know what it was? We talked sports.
You had fun.
Yeah, we talk. I love to talk sports.
Yeah, well, that's what the gimmick is. It's what's on Kevin's mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the Biden doppelganger.
No, I learned my lesson after that.
Sometimes it's who's going to be posting up against.
Did we talk about anything political tonight?
Well, we mentioned that. We mentioned off camera that the debt ceiling had cleared the first hurdle 7-6.
Okay.
But no, we're free of stink this week. We're smelling like a rose this week, baby.
I actually
the Biden whales. Also,
I know. I disliked McCarthy. I just didn't think he was like the right guy, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think him and Biden both played a pretty good game of chess against each other.
Yeah, but not atypical of what we've seen for the last 40 years with these two positions when it's two different parties.
Nobody's
opposite ends of the world, and then
nobody's
and close.
Yeah, but nobody's had that fringe that McCarthy has.
No, he hasn't. And
if you just having Green alone, I mean that Green is like fucking going to a vote and having that scream. That's what Green is. That's what Green is in the House. She's that fucking scream, man.
I would have played it every time.
Every time she opens her mouth, that's what I hear.
Well, she called for decorum a couple last week. Did you catch that one? And the whole floor laughed at her. She was the one screaming liar during the fucking State of the Union, and she called for decorum.
She probably needs a thesaurus to fucking know what decorum actually.
Let's do another half hour on. This is how we're going to do it every week. We're going to front load with sports. And then we'll ride out the last half hour with whatever MTG's up to.
No, that's not. I don't want to put her over.